This is the After Party, live with Kim McAllister. Pick a couch, grab a drink, and settle into the conversation.
Hey everybody, it is the After Party Live. I'm Kim McAllister, and I'm still alive. Yes, I am. I have breath. I have life. Despite COVID, I'm still kicking. So that's the good news. So far, so good. You can tell my voice is a little raggedy. This is kind of taking its toll. And I try to put a little makeup on, but the truth is I look horrible. So I'm going to forego the video today. But I thought it's not so bad that we can't do a little show, right? And I hate feeling like I let you guys down when I can't come. So I thought, you know what? I'm just going to try to power through. So here's what we've got today. We have Tim Sika coming in at 1:30 to talk movies. And I had some stories to share with you, but I know we didn't get to Trivia Thursday yesterday. I know a lot of people really enjoy that. So I thought, first of all, we could take a quiz together, and which I found an Olympic quiz. And then I have some trivia questions for you. So I thought we could do that for the first few minutes. But I'll go to the chat first of all, because, oh, look, you guys are here for me. You sound great. Probably not the best I've ever sounded. I'll say that. Yeah. I did have a temperature. It was 102.2 or 102.1. Sounds like a radio station, doesn't it? COVID 102.1 FM. That was on Wednesday. So that's kind of what I was burning up, and it made me think this is more than just a cold. Yeah. Who's going where? What's happening? Let's see. I missed it. Cameo says everyone's getting this version. COVID is a 4-letter word. The only thing good thing about getting it is you won't get it for a while. Fingers crossed. I don't know. I've been really lucky. You know, what has it been? 5 years since COVID has joined the scene, and I've managed to avoid it. I was really careful. We didn't go anywhere this summer. Just basic things like my son kept going to karate lessons. We did some basketball camp. That was enough to bring it home, and here we are. Yeah. Yes, am doing the show today, so thank you very much for that. And thank you, Wes, for the $5 super sticker. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. We're definitely down for the month, so really, really nice. SJ Lola throwing down $20. Take care and buy more Coachella Valley tea for your poor throat. I need it. Thank you. I'm down to the last Coachella Valley teas, so I really appreciate it. Mars slapping down $5. Thank you, Mars. Thank you, everyone, for continuing to support the After Party. If I have to take little coughing breaks or nose blowing breaks, and there's a weird, awkward dead air pause, that's what's happening. But I'm glad we're able to spend some time together anyway. I'm doing a great Lauren Bacall impression. Yeah, I guess. A snotty Lauren Bacall impression, maybe. I don't know. Ooh, John had COVID 3 times. Yikes. That's horrible. I'm so sorry. Thanks for joining, Heather. Glad to have you here. The one story that I did wanted to, because COVID means I can't speak anymore, that I did want to share with you guys was this one. Did you see this whale leapt out of the sea and came down right on this boat? Wild video. This happened this happened off the coast of New Hampshire. I'm trying to get the video so I'm able to show it to you, but it's crazy. Just crazy. So here's what it looked like. Let's see if I can show you the video here. Wild. Oops. I might not be able to. I don't know why it's not. Oh, here it is. Okay. Here it is. Check that out. So these two boys aboard this other boat managed to capture this on video. So you see this whale jumping out of the sea, and look at this, comes right down on this fishing boat, capsizes the fishing boat. There were two men on that boat Both, of course, end up in the water. So the young men that ended up on the boat where we're seeing the video was captured from immediately go and try to rescue the two men that were on the capsized fishing boat, and they're successful. They managed to pull these men aboard their boat. But this is just absolutely crazy. I mean, the Mayday call was issued. The Coast Guard came out. These good Samaritans, though, had already pulled these two boaters aboard. The boaters were not hurt. The whale, they don't think, was hurt either. Although I don't know how you would know that. I'm sure it surfaced a ways away, but unless you could really dive down and check its body, I don't know how you know if it wasn't hurt. They say the whale wasn't injured, and that the two fishermen are okay. But, wow. The whale was apparently feeding on fish at the time. It appeared to be uninjured, so that's what they're saying. But wild, absolutely wild that was even caught on video. Crazy. So here's another story that I found. I wanted to, not really a story, more of a quiz. It's a CNN quiz, but I thought we could take the quiz together because the Olympic ceremonies, opening ceremonies were today. And so I thought, well, this is kind of a timely quiz. Let's test our Olympic knowledge. Let's do it. And I love the pictures as well. All right, so the first question here is, in which year did women first compete in the modern Olympics? And the answers are 1900, 1924, 1932, or 1948. You have to click on the right answer in order to move forward. So, what's the consensus, friends? 1900, 1924, 1932, or 1948? Which year did women first compete in the Olympics? Two answers for 1924. Oh, your baby just started walking. I'm so excited. Mama, that's so great. How exciting. Congratulations. Really cool. Jennifer says 1900. Kathy says 1924. Cameo says 1900. Luis with a $5 super sticker. Here's a contribution for McAllen for McAllister. A good scotch feels good on a sore throat, does it? Might have to try that out, Luis. Thank you for the $5 super sticker. Lori says 1924. All right, let's check it out. I'm going to click on 1924. No, that's the wrong answer. Women first competed in the 1900 Olympics in 1900 in Paris. They comprised about 2% of athletes. The 22 women participated in tennis, sailing, croquet, golf, and equestrian. Since then, the number of female participants and events has grown gradually. 1900, the answer. Number 2. What is the record for the men's 100-meter dash at the Olympics? 9.58 seconds, 9.59, 9.63, or 9.69? I don't know this one. I'll pick the first answer that comes in. Ooh, stuffed peppers sound good. I like that, Wes. Delicious. You're such a cook. And a creator. You're kind of the guy that does it all. Mars says 9.59. Usain Bolt. Let's see if Mars is right. 9.59 is not correct. Although Usain Bolt is correct. It was 9.63. Usain Bolt completed the current Olympic record for the 100-meter dash in 2008 with a time of 9.63 seconds. He also ran the event with a time of 9.58, so you're very close there, at the 2009 World Championship, the world record. Not the Olympics, the World Championship. Number 3. What new events are being included in 2024? Foosball and horse racing, flag football and lacrosse, squash and cricket, or breakdancing and kayak cross? Huh. I'll take the first answer that comes in. Is it foosball and horse racing, flag football and lacrosse, squash and cricket, breakdancing and kayak cross? Anybody? No. Pickleball was not an answer. All right, I'm just going to pick one then. Breakdancing and kayak, says John Watson. All right, let's see if you're right. You are correct. Breakdancing, that's a sport, will debut as a new sport at the 2024 Olympics with an event each for men and women. The canoe slalom has included events in which athletes raced against the clock for the first time. The canoe slalom in the Olympics will include a kayak cross event in which 4 athletes will race one another. Okay, that's cool. What else does CNN have for us? What sports, plural, will not appear in the 2024 Olympics? Skateboarding and handball. I know that's not right because there's a Petaluma, a young woman from Petaluma who's competing skateboard, and she's amazing. Skateboarding and handball, baseball and karate, 3-on-3 basketball and roller speed skating, or sport climbing and surfing. What sports will not be included? Trevor says it's going to be tic-tac-toe and rock, paper, scissors. Don't make me laugh. Make me cough when I laugh. All right, I'm just going to click on an answer. 3-on-3. That's wrong. Baseball and karate were both featured in the 2020 Tokyo Summer Olympics. They will not be seen in Paris. Number 5. How many national Olympic committees will compete in the 2024 Paris Olympics? 98, 176, 193, or 206? It's okay. I'd rather cough and laugh than not laugh at all, right? 11,780. No, that's the wrong answer. Wrong answer for the rest of my life. 193, says John Watson. All right, let's see if you're right. 193 is not right. 206 teams will compete in this year's Olympic Games. Delegations representing territories that aren't recognized as countries by the United Nations as well. 6. What is the longest distance the Olympic torch has traveled to the opening ceremony? 16,000 miles, 40,500 miles, 85,000 miles, or 116,000 miles? I don't know. I'm going to say, I'll do this one. 85,000 miles. Let's do that. Oh, haha, got it right, but that's just luck. The Olympic torch arrived in Beijing March 31st of 2008 before it traveled through 21 countries across 5 continents. 4 months later, the Olympic flame returned to Beijing for the opening ceremony after completing an 85,000-mile journey, setting a record for the long-distance torch relay. Longest distance. How old is Quincy Wilson, who could become the youngest U.S. male track Olympian in history? 14, 15, 16, or 17? Quincy Wilson, who could become the youngest U.S. male track Olympian in history. 14, 15, 16, or 17? What do you think? Should I just click on one? Youngest. I'll go for 15. No. 16. Wilson, 16-year-old sprinter from Potomac, Maryland, failed to qualify for the 400-meter race at his U.S. Olympic trials debut, but made the pool for the 4x400-meter relay team and is expected to compete in Paris. Will be the youngest U.S. male track Olympian in history. Number 8. In the 2024 Paris Olympics, athletes from these 2 countries will be neutral rather than donning uniforms from or otherwise referencing their home countries. What are they? North Korea and Russia, Afghanistan and Iran, Taiwan and Hong Kong, Russia and Belarus. In the 2024 Paris Olympics, the athletes from these 2 countries will be neutral rather than donning uniforms or otherwise referencing their home countries. Do we know the answer? John says it's Russia and Belarus. I'll take it. Let's see. That is correct. The International Olympic Committee, well done, John, recommended in February of 2022, after Russia's invasion of Ukraine, which was supported by Belarus, that the 2 countries should be prohibited from competing in international sporting events. In January of 2023, the IOC announcing that Russian and Belarusian athletes would be allowed to compete as neutral athletes without donning or referencing their nationality. What is the motto for the 2024 Paris Olympics? Games wide open, come together, Together for a shared future, light the fire within. That's the motto. What do you think? Sorry, I had to blow my nose. You can say it. Oh, you heard it. That's okay. Mars says it's come together. All right. No, it is not. It is games wide open. Aha. All right. 10 out of 10. What year? Sorry, you guys. Maybe I shouldn't have done the show. What year did the Olympics first achieve equality in the number of women and men competing? 96, 04, 2020, or 2024? Equality in the number of men and women competing. I'm going to say 2004, but maybe I'm just being too incorrect. An equal number of female and male athletes will compete at the 2024 Summer Olympics. The divide between the number of female and male participants at the Summer Olympics has steadily closed. Wow, it took us to 2024 to get that? Wild. All right. I have a few other trivia questions to throw your way. And these are about twins. And I thought they were interesting. I'm sorry, I'll take that one down. Okay. So, and Kathy is correct. It was 2024. Yeah. Thanks, Kathy. This one is called Womb Mates. Named after their grandmothers, name the first twins to occupy the White House. I'd forgotten about these people. First twins to occupy the White House. You guys know the answer? Yeah, it's Barbara and Jenna Bush. I'll give it to Trevor. Nice. Next twin question. What mythical twins, fathered by the god Mars, but suckled by a she-wolf, were said to have founded Italy's capital city? What mythical twins, fathered by the god Mars, but suckled by a she-wolf, were said to have founded Italy's capital city? Yeah, you guys got the Bush twins. Nice. Yes. Yes, it's Romulus and Remus. That's correct. Next one. In the 1988 comedy Twins, what unlikely pair of actors played a set of twins reared apart? This one's going to be easy, probably. 1988 comedy Twins, unlikely pair of actors played a set of twins that had been raised apart. Yes, Trevor gets it right. DeVito and Schwarzenegger is the answer. Oops, sorry. Wrong page. Okay. Well, the Minnesota Twins were the first professional baseball team to represent an entire state, not a city. What is the name of their home stadium? Minnesota Twins play where? Good job on Arnold and Danny. Good job. Where do the Minnesota Twins play? They play in Minnesota. Yeah, clearly. It is not Target Field. Nice try, Louise. I appreciate the answer. The actual answer is the Metrodome. The Metrodome is where they play. All right. Next one. In the 1960s, identical twin advertising icons Jane and Joan Boyd starred in commercials for what brand of Wrigley gum? What brand of gum? It is Double Mint. Well done, SF Tesla. Yes, and Trevor. Double Mint is the correct answer. Next one. Hold on. Next one is, in the... speaking of advertising spokes-twins, what sort of product was advertised by the slogan, "Which twin has the Tony?" Which twin has the Tony? I'll give it to you. It was home permanent kits. And the last question for the trivia section. CNN estimated that on their 17th birthday, these blonde, identical twin actresses, producers, and clothing designers were each worth $150 million. CNN estimating that on their 17th birthday, these blonde, identical twin actresses, producers, and clothing designers were each worth $150 million. It's the Olsen twins. You guys got it. Right on. All right. It is time, my friends, to bring in our incredible entertainment specialist. He is a movie reviewer and a wonderful person. It is At the Movies with Tim Sika. Tim Sika, everybody. Yay!
Hi, Kim. You sound like maybe you should be in bed.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm kind of in quarantine in my office anyway, so I figured why not?
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, right. Didn't have anything else to do, so you might as well what is it? The show must go on, right?
The show must go on. We're gonna move forward no matter what.
Yeah, right.
I do have a couple trivia questions for you too, though.
Oh, okay. All right. I'll lay them on me.
I was saving them just for you. This is a page about movie quotes. Are you ready?
Oh boy. Okay. All right. I'm ready.
Can you identify these movie lines and the characters who said them? A boy's best friend is his mother. Who said it in the movie?
Norman Bates said it in Psycho.
You are exactly right. Not bad for a little furball.
Not bad for a little
Not bad for a little furball, said with snark.
You're gonna have to tell me.
This is Return of the Jedi, Han Solo. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah.
I must be crazy to be in a loony bin like this.
It's not One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
It is actually Jack Nicholson.
Yeah. Jack Nicholson. Oh, okay. All right. That's scene two.
You're 2 out of 3 so far. You're actually pretty good.
All right.
When Adrian asks him why he fights, a boxer says, "'Cause I can't sing or dance."
Rocky Balboa in Rocky.
That's true. I'm 16 years old and I don't need a governess.
That was Liesel in The Sound of Music.
You are killing this. That is exactly right. Listen, hear it? Carpe. Hear it? Carpe. Carpe diem. Seize the day, boys. Make your lives extraordinary.
That was Robin Williams and Dead Poets Society.
You got it. If there's anything in the world I hate, it's leeches. Filthy little devils.
That was Charlie Allnut, Humphrey Bogart in The African Queen.
Oh my God, you are just nailing every single one of these. This is fun.
Well, no, don't. I think we should stop while I've nailed a bunch.
I mean, you're already what? Like, if that was 7, you're like 6 out of 7.
Okay.
Seems like all everybody and his brother wants is to get me out of town. Marshal Will Kane says. Seems like all everybody and his brother wants is to get me out of town.
Oh, is that Gary Cooper in High Noon?
That is exactly right.
Okay.
I would never have known that.
Yeah, well, I've seen a lot of movies.
There are 2 kinds of people in this world. Those who stand up and face the music, and those who run for cover. Cover's better.
I know the quote, but I can't think. Clue? Can I have a clue?
Al Pacino.
Okay. Son of a Woman?
Yes, you got it right. Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
And the last one. Preview of coming attractions, says Grace Kelly to James Stewart as she pulls her negligee out of an overnight bag. What's the Alfred Hitchcock movie?
Rear Window.
Yes! 9 out of 10 for Tim Sika. Winner!
Yeah,
if I had a prize, I'd give it to you.
Yeah. Well, I have. Yeah. Well, I'm usually hit and miss with quotes, but those were easy.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, all right, Tim. Let's get to the movies of the weekend because we've got a lot of great movies coming out. What are you looking at first?
Okay, we have first the big studio release of the week, Deadpool and Wolverine. I think, unless you've been living under a rock, you haven't seen the preview trailers for this. They've been all over TV and in all the movie theaters and everything. Yeah, Deadpool and Wolverine, names referring, of course, to two Marvel comic superheroes. Deadpool, the mutant mercenary with accelerated healing, aka Wade Wilson, played by Ryan Reynolds, and Wolverine, also a mutant with prodigious healing abilities, aka Logan, played by, once again here, by Hugh Jackman. So I'm not sure whether this is another Deadpool movie, because there have been two previous Deadpool movies, or another Wolverine movie, because there's also been a number of those movies. I guess it's supposed to be both, but if I was going to classify this, I'd call it another Deadpool movie, meaning that it's like primary mood and feel and vibe is that of a kind of like profane irreverence. Have you seen any of the Deadpool movies?
I think I saw one, and they're very. I mean, they're funny. They're very snarky in the,
Yeah. Well, the first one was, I enjoyed that one, the first Deadpool. Because up until then, I don't think we had ever seen like such a mainstream superhero movie that was so subversive. Deadpool 2, for me, was less successful, being just, in effect, a rehash of Deadpool. I found the freshness of Deadpool lacking in Deadpool 2. And, what I just saw there in Deadpool 2 was like a rehash, a retreading of what made the first one kind of funny, which was like that it was subversive, and you didn't hear superheroes talk that way or act that way.
Right.
But anyway, so, and frankly, this one, Deadpool and Wolverine, for all of its CGI technology and slick action and killing sequences, my God, the main title sequence is like he's just like, jamming swords into people left and right.
Oh,
I found the whole thing kind of tiresome and gimmicky, despite all of its pop culture references and multiverse allusions and self-referential snarks thrown at just about every other Marvel character that's ever been created. The other thing, too, about it is that Deadpool's appeal is that he's quick with the verbal, bon mot, but hardly any of his bon mots in this movie land. His jokes aren't funny, and it's like watching a comedian playing to an audience with material that isn't making them laugh, but they don't stop. Instead of stopping, they just keep like piling it on. I also dislike the mixture of tones. Every time the focus was on the character of Deadpool, the pacing and the speed of the film were fast and quippy. But when the focus was on the character of Wolverine, the movie veered toward, like, to me, which was like this off-putting seriousness and poignancy that seemed to belong in a different movie. And so these two opposing tones seem to be pulling at each other, one wanting dominance over the other, and you're going, well, what the hell? What is this? I mean, I just, what is this? Anyway, I should also say, in the interest of full disclosure here, and admit that I was resistant to embracing this movie due to the fact that, more and more we critics are being primed to love certain movies by critics groups that we belong to, by the various publicity machines, the Disney in this case, the Disney publicity machine, the Marvel publicity machine. And it's a lot of hype. And sometimes you just have to like sort through that hype and just forget about it. And I didn't forget about this one. It's almost like, they were just saying, hey, this movie's going to be great and you're going to love it just like everybody else, and it's going to make all this money. Well, it is making a lot of money. I think it, broke some kind of record for preview. But personally, I didn't like it. It's got great production design, it's got great special effects, blah, 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 but little else in my opinion. And I did try, but I just found it kind of dull and tiresome, and one of those movies I can't ever imagine ever wanting to ever sit through again.
Not
I don't know. No, I'm not recommending it. I know that Marvel fans are going to go regardless, and superhero fans who go to all these movies are obviously going to go and probably love it. But no, if I were being honest, it just was a chore to sit through. It was much of the same. And I think I just have superhero movie fatigue. It just seems like every other month there's a superhero movie coming
No,
out, you know?
I don't think so. I think usually if you like a superhero movie, even though maybe it's not your total bag, you'll say you
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah, I
So,
do. Yeah. But this was like, no. And I didn't think it was funny. That's the other thing I liked about the Deadpool movie, the first one, is that it was funny. I mean, he was really, he was subversive and he was, saying things he shouldn't have been
totally.
saying.
It was irreverent and it was
Yeah.
unexpected and it was just
Yeah.
new and fresh, right?
Right. Yeah. And by the time they got to the second one, it was like, no, this isn't new, okay. And the script wasn't as good either. I don't think this script is good. I didn't even go into the plot because the plot would just take forever to recount. It's just whatever. It's a Marvel superhero plot. There's all kinds of things going on and all kinds of universes being affected and blah 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 blah. So
Can we move on to this one? It's called The Fabulous
Yes.
Four, and
The
it looks like a bunch of ladies.
Yeah. Yes, this is another one of those comedies. And by those comedies, I mean the ones starring female movie stars of a certain age. And a story that's designed to kind of make you feel all warm and fuzzy inside, especially if you're like over 65 or over 70. Think of those like book club movies with Jane Fonda and movies like 80 for Brady, those kinds of comedies. And in this one, The Fabulous Four, four fabulous actresses are in it. Cheryl Lee Ralph, Susan Sarandon, Megan Mullally, and Bette Midler. And they all go through these like up in years dramas revolving around their sisterhood. And the plot is that Ralph, Sarandon, and Mullally, they play best friends who they decide to go to Key West to attend the wedding of their longtime friend from college, played by the divine Miss M, Bette Midler.
Sure.
And hilarious and heart-tugging antics ensue, right? And the great Bruce Greenwood, one of my favorite actors, he plays the bridegroom, and he lends this movie a little bit of class. And I think the best thing I can say for this one, being one of those movies, one of those comedies, is that it might be the least embarrassing of all those other like elder ladies movies. I mean, it does have its share of eye-rolling moments where you go, oh God. But the actors take bigger bites out of their roles, and except for like a paint by numbers script where even the story's couple of twists could be detected a mile off, the actors are good and they're really committed to this frothy, piece of entertainment, and they really dig into their role, the potentials of their roles. I think they got more out of what was not in the script by their performances, which were kind of larger than life and fun. Sarandon is great, Susan Sarandon. Cheryl Lee Ralph, who was in the Broadway musical Dreamgirls, she's got this great belting voice, is funny, and she gets to sing. Megan Mullally is always hilarious, and Bette Midler is, she's divine, and she plays this like silly pastiche of a movie with a lot of gusto, and she seems to really be enjoying herself. And of course, she too gets to sing. In fact, the movie ends with an actual musical number, which is really kind of like you're going, oh, brother. But, I'd be lying if I didn't say I was really getting into it and I really enjoyed it. So this movie's all calculated to, elicit the warm and fuzzies with a few reminders to folks of a certain age to, stop holding grudges, and life is too preciously short. So better seize the day and, get the most out of what's left of it, that kind of thing.
So you liked it?
Yeah, and I like that the movie was also sexually and gender affirming. And it's really, in addition to everything else I just said, Kim, it's the shameless 95-minute commercial for TikTok. I'll just leave it at that. So I did sort of grudgingly enjoy it. I loved watching all those great actresses do their thing and have fun. So I guess I recommend it. Sometimes I surprise myself.
Yeah, okay. I like the cast. I'm all down with that. I mean, Bette Midler and Megan Mullally and Susan Sarandon and wow, okay.
Yeah, and it takes place in Key West, which is the land of Ernest Hemingway. So there's lots of Hemingway like literary drops and a lot of mentions of cats. So yeah, I like cats. So I like movies with cats in them. So it was a cute movie.
What else was Cheryl Lee Ralph in?
She's most known for having appeared in Dreamgirls on Broadway.
Okay.
She was the star of Dreamgirls, and she's more of known as a stage actress, but she's making inroads into movies, and she's really wonderful in here. She's just this larger than life. It's almost like the role can't contain her. And when
Wow.
she finally does get to sing, it's like you're going, "Oh, good." You know, she should have been singing earlier in the movie because she's got this great, like, belting Broadway voice.
Absolutely.
And she and Bette Midler together, oh man, you just want to hug them. I mean,
Oh,
yeah,
you're making me want to watch this one. Okay.
it's cute. It's
Yeah.
cute. Yeah, it's good. It's good. Yeah.
The last movie you have for us is called The Crossing, or just Crossing, rather.
Yeah, Crossing. This is probably my favorite film of the week. It's kind of in my wheelhouse, and it's kind of my cup of tea. It's a little indie gem of a movie in the Georgian and Turkish languages, and it's subtitled in English. Although there is some English spoken too. There's like this patois. It's hauntingly shot in Istanbul. You can tell from kind of the poster there. And there's a line in the movie that says that Istanbul is a place people come to disappear. And that's the feel of this movie, Crossing. And it's about a woman who travels from her home in Georgia, the country in Eastern Europe and West Asia, not the U.S. battleground state of Georgia, but the country of Georgia. So it's about an older woman, a retired teacher, who leaves her home in Georgia and travels to Istanbul in search of her long-lost niece, because this woman promised her dying sister before she passed that she would do this for her, to try to find her daughter, her niece, and bring her home. And when she arrives in Georgia, she happens to meet upon a lawyer, a trans lawyer, who is advocating in her country for trans rights. And so we get a hint as to what's to follow, too, when the movie opens with this disclaimer stating that both Georgian and Turkish are gender-neutral languages that make no distinction of grammatical gender. I didn't know that. I thought that was really interesting. So this is essentially about a trans woman who has seemingly disappeared and whose aunt is trying to locate in this foreign land.
That's really interesting.
Yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful film with evocative local color. Like I said, it was shot in Istanbul, which, parenthetically speaking of cats and the Fabulous Four, Istanbul is like kind of overrun by cats. They made documentaries about the cats of Istanbul, but it's nice. You see these cats like in the movie. They're just kind of there on the side doing their thing. Everybody like kind of treats them nice, and it's kind of this haven for cats. But anyway, the movie is essentially a story about forgiveness, acceptance, and love, and maybe about failing one's child and hopefully reconciliation at a later date. I don't know what else to say about it, except that it's probably, right now, it's going to go on my top 10 list. It's a deeply empathetic and human story. It's touching, it's tender, it's compassionate. It's very well acted, beautifully shot, as I said, memorable for sure. With, and I can't say that, say that about a whole lot of movies this year. First of all, I think I'm seeing too many, but second of all, they don't always stick. This one stuck. It's got these wonderful characters and a really timely message of I don't know, just live and let live. We make a lot of the time about we make life a lot of the time about things that when we reach the end of our life, we oftentimes realize like far too late, and we're kind of meaningless and petty when our lives should have been ruled by love. That was my takeaway from this beautiful film. It's called Crossing, and you can see it's exclusively on the streaming service Mubi, which kind of specializes in these kind of boutique films from other countries, because theaters don't see them as being commercial, and the bigger streaming services don't see them as commercial, so they have a home on Mubi. But it was hypnotic, and it just really took me away. It was a beautiful movie. I don't know what else to say about it.
No,
Yeah.
that's good.
Yeah.
All right, we'll recap it. We have Deadpool and Wolverine. You said it's tiresome. It's gimmicky. It's not funny. It has odd pacing switches from serious to snarky. You didn't like it, and you're not recommending it, though you understand Marvel fans will go regardless.
Yeah. Boy, that sounds like a snarky critic thing. Anyway, go ahead.
No. The next one is called The Fabulous Four, and you liked the acting despite the basic script. You loved the singing. You just like this movie. You recommend it. You say it's cute.
Yeah, it's one you can recommend to your mom, and you can even go to with your mom, or recommend it to your mom and say, "Hey, mom, you ought to take some of your friends to see this. You'll have a good time." Yeah.
Okay. The Crossing. You said it's a beautiful film, it's memorable, and it stays with you. And you said it's on your top 10 list. Top 10 list for the year of all
Yeah.
time?
So,
Of what?
yeah, top 10 of the list for this year so far. Now it's only July, but I don't know. I don't see another film, besting this
Okay.
in my top 10, but we'll see. You never know.
What are you going to watch this weekend?
I'm still, as I mentioned last week, I just started to get into Grace and Frankie, and I am actually halfway through the fourth season. So I think I'm going to try to finish that for the week.
Wait, what
And
is
then
it?
Grace and Frankie.
Oh, Grace and Frankie. Yeah, I
Yeah.
like that a lot. That was really
Yeah,
good.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's really cute. What's nice is it's a nice thing to watch in between like all of the quote unquote work stuff I have to watch because it's light and it's funny. And God, I mean, talk about great actresses, Jane Fonda and Sam Waterston and
Oh,
Martin
totally.
Sheen and oh my God,
Yeah.
Lily Tomlin is a scream. It's just
Yeah.
a nice thing to clear my palate before I go on to the next, work assignment. So I'm watching that. I also recently saw this. It was on Netflix. I can't recall the name of it, but it's the only 6-part documentary on Hitler and the Nazi regime. It's on
Oh.
Netflix. That is that's powerful. Yeah, I did. I forgot. You asked me last week what I was catching up on, and I did watch that. And I mean, there's some stuff in there that is not, some stuff I've not ever seen before. Just some of the Nazi footage of
Is it
Auschwitz and
is
yeah.
it Hitler and the Nazis, Evil on Trial?
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. What it does is it juxtaposes Hitler's political advancement with the Nuremberg trials that came after the war and, makes comparisons like what he was saying. This is what went to trial. And there's actual audio footage. Apparently, I didn't know this, but they audio taped the entire trials. They didn't film them because they went on for months and months. But so we get some of that. We also get some film footage of some stuff, some of their atrocities, which I've never seen before, which are pretty harrowing. And it's a good series, But I guess you got to be in the mood for it. Otherwise, it could ruin your whole day
No,
or
six
ruin your week.
episodes, they say. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
that's interesting.
yeah,
Always looking for something good streaming. I'll tell you, I'm in quarantine. And
yeah.
I have two rooms. I'm my son's room and the office. So I sleep in one and I'm kind of hanging out in the other. And so, I mean, I need something to occupy my time. So that
Yeah,
might be,
this is what, third day you've had it, you think?
Yeah, well, I think I had it the day before. I had in that moment when you wake up and you
Yeah.
have trouble swallowing.
Yeah,
But it wasn't
that's
until Wednesday that I tested positive. So technically, I guess this is day 3. Day
yeah.
3? Yeah.
Are you taking anything for it or doing anything in particular for
I'm
it?
taking Mucinex and Tylenol because I have a really bad fever. And
Yeah.
today I'm supposed to get Paxlovid, so we'll see.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah.
Yeah.
People that I know that hadn't, like you, that hadn't gotten it for all this time and did get it, that kind of did the trick. The Paxlovid has just knocked it out for them.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, I hope so.
Well, I hope you
Tim,
feel. I hope you feel
Thank
better.
you. Thanks for coming
Yeah.
on. It's a good thing you can't get COVID through the YouTube. So I
I like
appreciate you
that-
being here.
Well, I like that we're both on Image today, so I don't feel so bad because I'm rarely ever on live streaming because I have a face for radio.
No, you're beautiful. You're beautiful.
Stop
I would
it.
love to
Stop
see
it.
you on video.
Yeah, we'll
but
do it. We will do it at some point when I get my act together here. I just got a camera.
Oh.
You know what? I am such a tech idiot. I had to get a new computer, and it's taken me a long time to figure out the camera. And I did do a Zoom, but I couldn't get the camera to work. But then I did another Zoom, and I did get the camera to work. So sometime soon, we'll do the Zoom, and you can look at my face and me gesturing like a
beautiful.
maniac. Okay. So,
I will say this. John says, does Nikki have COVID too? We tested positive on the same day. Is that crazy?
really,
Yeah.
Nikki has it too. Holy,
We both
moly.
have it, and we haven't
Oh
even seen
my
each
God.
other. So
Oh gee, well, you're
All right.
soul sisters. So
yeah, that's
hey,
right.
Yeah,
Well, go answer
okay.
the phone. Thank you, Tim Sika.
Yeah, okay, Kim. Thanks a lot. Talk to you next week.
Bye.
Take care. Feel better. Bye.
Thanks. At the Movies with Tim Sika, everyone. Always appreciate Tim coming through the show and hanging out. Last story that I wanted to present to you guys was about this guy who decided that he was going to try to go for world record, a Guinness World Record. And he decides he's going to do one of these weird ones. And the one he tries to do is, how many times can you spin your cell phone on your finger in 1 minute? Let me just tell you that I tried this. I'll let you see how awful I look right now. Hold on. I tried this, all right? And I couldn't do it at all. Apparently, and don't look away, I'm hideous. Apparently, this guy does it 320 times, 320 in 1 minute to break this world record. His name is Chen Zhaoqing. He broke the record for the most spins of a mobile phone on one finger in 1 minute. 320 times he did it. The phone dropped a few times, as mine just did, but he remained calm. He powered through, and there you go. He's now the finger phone spinning world record holder. He has so much to be proud of, really, so much. Have you guys ever heard of something called coffee badging? I bring it up because I've never actually heard of coffee badging. I've heard of the phenomenon that it's referencing, but I hadn't actually heard this term used. Coffee badging is when you go to work as mandated by you have to be back in the office, right? But you only go there so that you can grab a cup of coffee and then badge right back out, right? Yeah. The coffee badging phenomenon is apparently in full swing. It's new workplace lingo that was popularized by the video conferencing company Owl Labs. So basically what it means is you show up at the office because you have to badge in and then you leave. Usually that means you badge in, you go to the kitchen, you get your coffee, you maybe say hello to a few people, and then you badge right back out and go home. In its 2023 report of 2,000 full-time U.S. workers, 58% of hybrid employees said they were coffee badging. An additional 8% said they were interested in trying the whole coffee badging thing out. Yeah. Okay. What a waste of time to drive all the way there, right? I mean, unnecessary pollution of the environment. To just badge in and then badge back out? It seems weird to me. Well, that is the show, and I can't thank you enough for spending time. I have some thank yous to make, and the show would not go on without your amazing support. First of all, SJ Lola with $20. Thank you for the nice message, and I will be ordering some Coachella Valley tea, absolutely. Mars coming in with a $5 super sticker. Thank you so much, Mars. Cameo with $5. Thank you, Cameo. Really kind. Wes, consistent supporter of the After Party Live and the Mark Thompson Show as well, with a $5 super sticker. Luis, McAllen for McAllister. I'll have to try some scotch. Really appreciate it. Heather, a 5 spot for the Sudafed Fund. Whoop, whoop. Actually, I just did order some more Mucinex. Thank you, Heather. I appreciate that. And then Nick, thank you for powering through. Yeah, thank you. I hope it wasn't too annoying, my voice and my pauses to cough and everything else. But thank you for being here, Nick, and thank you for the $5. Really, really kind. Well, I will see you on Monday. I will tell you that the Mark Thompson Show, the plan is that Mark is not going to be on the show and that I will be hosting it. So hopefully I'm better by then. And I'm really, really excited because I have an author about who wrote the biography called Kamala's Way. And it's really the premier Kamala Harris biography. His name is Dan Moraine, and he will be on the show. We'll talk a little bit about how she seems to be constantly underestimated. And he's got some great stories to tell. So that's Dan Moraine talking about the autobiography Kamala's Way. He'll join us on the Mark Thompson Show, and that is on Monday. So we will do that. And then here on the After Party Live, hopefully I'll be well enough to to power through that as well. I hope you guys have a really good weekend. Thank you for the contributions to the show, and thank you for this great community that we have created here. I will always appreciate it very much. Hopefully, I live through the weekend. No, no. All right, everybody, have a really good one. Bye-bye.
The After Party Live would like to thank the following contributors and viewers like you.
Mama, have a great trip. I don't know where you're going, but have a really good time.